I spent 2 weeks using 5 different AI writing tools for real work. Not demos, not cherry-picked examples, actual emails, actual blog posts, actual marketing copy, actual proposals. And here's what I found. Most of them are fine. A couple of them are genuinely impressive. One of them surprised me more than anything else I've tested on this channel. And one of them, honestly, I wouldn't recommend to anyone at its current price point. I'm going to give you the full breakdown. 5 tools. The same 5 tasks run through each one. Clear verdicts at the end of every round. No affiliate-driven enthusiasm. Just what actually worked. This is AI for humans. Real tools, tested, no PhD required. 5 AI writing tools. Jasper, Copy.ai, Grammarly Business, Claude, and Writesonic. I ran the same 5 writing tasks through every single one. At the end of each section, you get a verdict. At the end of the video, you get the full ranking and my actual recommendation based on what kind of work you do. Let's get into it. Quick context before we start. Here's what I'm testing and why I picked these 5. Jasper, the most established AI writing platform on the market. We've mentioned it in earlier episodes. This is the first time I'm putting it against real competition. Copy.ai, positioned as the automation-first writing tool. Less known than Jasper, but has a feature I want to show you that nobody talks about. Grammarly Business. Most people think this is a spell checker. It is not. The business tier has AI rewriting capabilities that are genuinely different from the other tools here. Claude, Anthropic's AI assistant. We've covered it in episodes 1, 2, and 4 as a ChatGPT alternative for general work. Today, I'm specifically testing it as a writing tool, which is a different and more targeted use case. And Writesonic, the underdog of this group, not as well known, has a specific use case where it genuinely outperforms everything else here. You'll see. Pricing context. Jasper starts at $49 a month, Copy.ai at $36, Grammarly Business at $15, Claude Pro at $20, Writesonic at $20, all tested on their paid plans. Task 1. Write a cold email. Specifically, a cold outreach to a potential client in a professional services business. Personal, specific, non-spammy. Goal is a reply, not a click. I gave all 5 tools the same brief. B2B services company. Target is a marketing director at a mid-size firm. The pitch is a productivity audit. Tone. Confident, direct, short. Under 100 words. Here's what I got. Jasper produced the most polished output immediately. The structure was right, the tone was professional without being stiff, and it came in at 94 words on the first pass. No editing needed to send it. If you're writing cold email at volume, Jasper wins this round on output quality. Task 2. Write a LinkedIn post. A thought leadership piece for a small business owner in the productivity space. First-person voice. Should feel like a real person wrote it. Goal. Engagement, not reach. Same brief, all 5 tools. This round exposed something significant. Most AI writing tools write LinkedIn posts that read exactly like AI LinkedIn posts. You know the format. 3-word opening line. Rhetorical question. Numbered list. Here are my 3 takeaways. Drop a comment below. It's everywhere, and it performs worse every month as audiences get better at detecting it. Jasper gave me that template. Competent, recognizable, forgettable. This is where Jasper's brand voice feature, which we covered in episode 4, changes the result completely. If you've trained Jasper on your own writing samples, it doesn't sound like a template. It sounds like you. Without brand voice active, though, the output is generic. Copy.ai surprised me here. Its output had a more natural sentence rhythm, less formulaic. I made smaller edits to Copy.ai's LinkedIn post than any other tool in this task. Claude again produced something shorter and more distinctive. The voice felt human in a way that the others didn't quite achieve. The opening line didn't lead with a hook, it led with an observation. That's a harder thing to prompt for, and it did it without being asked. Writesonic was average. Grammarly improved a draft I gave it significantly. The tone suggestions and clarity rewrites were genuinely useful, but it can't generate a LinkedIn post from a brief the way the others can. LinkedIn post verdict. Copy.ai for natural voice. Claude for distinctiveness. Jasper only with brand voice trained. Task 3. Long-form blog introduction. Topic: how to use AI to save time at work. Target reader is a non-technical professional. Tone: authoritative but conversational. Length: 150 to 200 words. Goal is to hook the reader and set up the rest of the article. This task had the most interesting result of the 5. Jasper, Copy.ai, and Writesonic all produced competent introductions. Readable, appropriately structured, fit for purpose. Jasper's was the cleanest out of those 3. Claude produced something different in kind, not just in quality, in approach. It opened with a specific scenario rather than a general statement. It assumed the reader was already using some AI and addressed them from that position rather than starting from zero. The perspective was more sophisticated, and it didn't condescend. That's a hard thing to write, and it did it naturally. Here's where I want to talk about something we haven't discussed on this channel before. Claude has a feature called long context processing. You can feed it an entire document, a research report, a client brief, a competitor analysis, an entire book, and it reads and understands all of it before it writes. The blog introduction it produces reflects everything in that context, not just the prompt. For any writing that depends on source material, reports, analysis, content grounded in research, this changes what's possible. No other tool in this comparison does this at the same level. Long-form blog intro verdict. Claude by a significant margin for context-dependent writing. Task 4. Write a sales page section. Specifically, the problem agitate solve section of a landing page for a productivity coaching service. This is direct response copywriting. It needs to move someone emotionally as well as logically. It's the hardest writing task on this list. Jasper was built for this. The marketing copy templates, the PAS framework structure, the conversion-focused output. This is Jasper's home territory, and it showed. Out of the 5 tools, Jasper produced the most consistently usable sales copy. The problem section had genuine emotional resonance. The agitation section was specific enough to feel true. The solve section was clear and confident. This is also where Copy.ai's workflows feature becomes relevant, and it's the thing I mentioned at the top that nobody talks about. Instead of generating a single section, Copy.ai workflows runs a multi-step content pipeline. You input your offer and your audience, and it generates the headline, the problem section, the agitate section, the solve section, and the CTA in one automated run. Each step informs the next. The output is a complete landing page section, not a single piece of copy you have to manually chain together. For anyone building sales pages at volume, agencies, freelancers, marketing teams, this workflow approach is a meaningful operational advantage over any other tool here. Sales page verdict. Jasper for quality, Copy.ai workflows for volume and automation, Grammarly for refinement. Task 5. Write an SEO-optimized blog post outline. Target keyword. Best productivity tools for small business. 10 headings minimum. Each heading should reflect real search intent, not generic categories. Goal. A structure that could rank. This is where Writesonic earns its place in this comparison. The other 4 tools produced outlines. Writesonic produced an SEO-optimized outline, and the difference is specific. Writesonic's article writer analyzes the top-ranking pages for your target keyword before it generates the outline. The headings it produces reflect the actual structure of content that's currently ranking, the questions people are asking, the subtopics that appear across multiple high-ranking articles, the gaps in the existing results. 5 tasks, 5 tools. Here's the full scorecard. Jasper, 1 cold email volume, 1 sales copy quality. The most consistently professional output across all 5 tasks. The brand voice feature is the thing that elevates it above generic AI writing. Without it, it produces polished but forgettable copy. With it, the output is genuinely distinctive. Best for marketing teams and agencies producing high-volume copy. At $49 a month, it's the most expensive tool here, and it's worth it if writing is a core part of your work. One thing I want to say before I wrap this up. None of these tools replace the skill of writing. What they replace is the time cost of starting, the blank page problem, the first draft friction. The thinking, the voice, the judgment about what to say, that's still yours. The writers I've seen get the most out of AI tools are the ones who use them as a starting point and then aggressively edit. The output is a first draft, not a final one. Your edits are what make it actually good. If this helped you figure out which one to try, subscribe.